Hi guys. Um, okay, so just to check in, I have a friend who is letting me stay with them for a few days until I can sort some things out, figure out where I'm going or what the next step is here. So I'm okay and physically and emotionally and every way exhausted through all this, but okay. And I just wanted to record some thoughts and share some thoughts while I was sitting here. Borrowed a friend's bike and sitting on the grass. So it's really beautiful out. So anyways, what I was thinking about is like how things of the spiritual, metaphysical, ethereal, supernatural, paranormal realms have been, well, a lot of secrets have been hidden, and probably for good reason with some who have integrity, but other than that, kept from the public about the reality of, for lack of a better term, let's just say, unseen to the eyes, magical, whatever. And take, for instance, the Disney movies and princesses and things like that, and you've got Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, which I like Snoop Dogg's version better. Who is the top dog of them all? I just had to throw that in there, but I love that song. Anyways, magic mirrors. Well, these things, two-way mirrors, like in interrogation rooms, it's all this built upon the same principles. I can view and watch something on this little two-way mirror of mine, and I can record myself for onlookers to see me through this same two-way little magic mirror, soul stealer of mine that I'm holding right now. Not a fan of cell phones, in case anyone didn't know. If you don't know, now you know. I speak a lot in song reference because music has been and always will be my best friend. Only one I've ever had in this world that stuck with me my whole life. And I find and have found myself through music speaks to me, whether lyrically or in frequency and vibration, rhythm and beat. Does anybody ever get the sneaking suspicion like you're on certain platforms where you can vlog, like let's use for instance BoobTube? I don't want to call anybody out and get a lawsuit filed against me or anything. God forbid these days with all the censorship and can't say this, can't say that, red flag this, oh you're marked if you say that, blah blah blah. Well, we all know Jen doesn't have a filter, so Jen just speaks it like it is because it's the truth. I'm never ever going to tell somebody to do something or be something or say something that's going to, with intent, hurt or harm them in any kind of way or be bad for them. Not how I roll. So I try to be careful and mind my words and what I say when I speak, because there is in this world a judicial system which clearly states anything you say, so let's get that again. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. I don't think people really pay attention to that. They think it's like, oh, anything, okay, I want a lawyer. Like nobody listens to actually, they're telling you up front that you're already implicated. You're already with charge. You're already penalized. You're already, found guilty. Because whatever you say can and will be used against you. Well, good. I hope that is in effect of speaking the truth, because in that case, I'm happy to be me. But sometimes my words come out and I miscommunicate, because there's a lot that always goes on up here, and it's like, it's so eloquent, beautiful, and perfect in my mind, and then as soon as the mouth opens, it's like blah, vomiting out of gibberish, and I look like a fool. Not a fool. Look like one. Not a fool. Look like one. So anyways, I just wanted to share these things as they're coming to me. I think now it's almost in the world these days as if court is in session. Let's say the trial has begun, and there are tactics of surveillance being used. There are agents and spies and eavesdroppers and rats and moles and all kinds of things. GPS, satellite, facial tracking, credit, demographic information, medical information. There's a lot of information available about each and every individual, especially in this country of the USSA, the corporation, formerly known as America or the United States. See, like that was a jab, because that's exactly what this country has become. A nation built on patriotism, discovery, exploration of new land and territories, has turned to a corporation, and instead of explorers and discoverers and journalists and creators, we are now commodities in the corporation of the USSA, bought, sold, and traded to the highest bidder. Corporations, all of them, have and only have ever only cared about one simple thing, and that is their bottom line. Profits and losses. So anyone who's deemed a loss to their profitable system is targeted, because they're out to make money, gain wealth, riches, power, resources, authority by preying on the weaker, lesser than, or oppressed ones like you and I. And I was saying to my friend earlier that human beings are no better off than domesticated dogs and cats these days, if you think about it. Kept in cages at the pound. Look at the prison system. Enough said there. Corrupt. Euthanized. Yeah, I can think of a few. Taken out too early, in my opinion, before their time. Microchipped, fed pellets, artificial pellets out of a bag or a box or a can of mush from a factory. Leashes on their necks. Not leashes. Collars on their necks. See, I spent my life being the freak on a leash, we all know, so that word just kind of sticks in my head. Almost 45 years old, it's just there, it's like a part of me now. I don't live in fear anymore, though, because I've got nothing left to lose in this place. literally, like my bags and sentimental items maybe, and that's about it. Nobody really has much to do with me and my family, and I have nowhere to go and nothing, so yeah, I got company here, so just wanted to share these. I like to plant seeds, like food for thought, you know, and have people really think about the bigger picture of what's really going on. You've got all this separation and labeling, like I identify with heterosexual, gay, transgender, questioning. I always mark now just to be an asshole, because sometimes you got to be an asshole in this world, and I'm sarcastic enough for everybody, but I border on assholishness. So any application or anything that I sign now, I just mark non-binary. I mean, what does it matter if people, like, if you're filing for a job, let's say, or it's a government census or whatever, and they want to know your sexual orientation? Excuse me, what? No, that's private. I have no problem sharing mine because I have no filter. So what you see is what you get. But don't judge a book by its cover. Make sense of that. Okay? It's like being real. So heterosexual, female. Couldn't have really told that last year when I was bald, though. Sick. Yeah, felt like a man a couple times, especially when somebody said dude to me, and then I turned around. I was like, really? Did he just say dude? Did he just call me a dude? Okay. Not a dude. Although these days I think I have bigger balls than most of them. Just saying. So, with that being said, there's the non-filter. I blurt things out sometimes, and I say things that maybe would rub people the wrong way or offend somebody. I never mean to offend anybody. I just very sarcastic, and so it usually goes like over people's heads, but some people get it. Pardon my voice still, it's repairing. I lost my mind, my emotions. I broke the other night in just emotional desperation, because if one more, like, everybody's like, oh, God never gives you more than you can handle. I would love for anyone to come carry my burden and see how long they last without collapsing, really, honestly. And I really just want to do whatever I can, however I can, as limited I can as I am, with everything working against me. Things can get very ugly in this world very quick just from the advent of the progress of technology. If you think about it, with Photoshop and editor tools that they have for videos, Mandela effect things, the internet not being secure or having any insight, oversight, or regulation anywhere, anybody can kind of go in and you know, let's take Wikipedia, for instance. You can go on Wikipedia right now, and you can make changes to that page and add things or remove things. So I'll watch these videos sometimes like, oh, we've got, you know, Corey Taylor from Slipknot, you know, Wikipedia, fact or fiction. Because not everything you read on the internet is the truth. Not everything you see in the media is the truth. I looked at a headline yesterday that authorities were roping off areas and patrolling near Chicago because they were expecting protests. But yet there's not one person to be seen in a crowd anywhere. It's just the tape and the cops. So there's nothing going on, but they need to rope areas off, start having cops standing around looking intimidating, trying to rile the people up maybe? Who knows? It just, things like that I look at and it doesn't make sense. And Thanks, Judge Judy. I appreciate, because you're correct. If it doesn't make sense, it isn't true, to a degree. That does not apply to the unseen, however, such as supernatural, paranormal. Only those who have experienced it or have the extrasensory abilities to be able to perceive these things can. And that's just a simple fact. And then you've got fluoride in the water, calcifying the pineal gland, the third eye, which some people say the first eye. I would kind of agree with them. Sometimes people need to close these off to clown world for a moment. Clown world of illusion and deception and corruption. Go within and see what just intuitively comes to them, whether that's a thought, a memory, a picture, takes you back to a smell of when your grandmother made apple pie, or whatever comes. Try to take note of that and then practice that. That's meditation, is those quiet moments. You can find that in prayer. You can meditate. You can find that in trance states. I don't suggest doing any of them unless you are aware of the consequences involved, as well as what can happen in those other dimensions and realms that consciousness travels to, because it doesn't always stay here in the conscious, aware, physical, temporal plane we call Earth. No. We sleep at night. Consciousness travels. It's like this shuts off, an autopilot kicks on, you know? So I just wanted to touch on these things because some people out in the world pay attention to the bigger picture of things and kind of connect the dots and put the puzzle pieces together instead of just focusing on one particular, like, oh, the elections were a fraud, or, oh, there's the vaccinated against the unvaccinated. Well, no, whether we're vaccinated or unvaccinated, some of us aren't against anybody else. We're being labeled that by authorities, especially the separation things. Labels. It's labels trying to get you to limit yourself into this little tiny box. Female, white, blonde, hazel, mother, grandmother, sister, daughter, American, English speaking, standardizing test scores, identifying sexual preference with none of your business. That's what I say. Hetero, though, because I don't really give a crap who knows what about me, because I have nothing to hide, and that's the point. Especially younger kids. I remember in my late teens and early 20s, I experimented with girls and things, like trying to figure myself out and who I was and what I liked and what I didn't like. That's how you identify yourself. Don't let anyone else, anybody, I don't care if this is a kid and it's your teacher, I don't care if it's a citizen and that's going toward, for as far as your authority figures, your government, your parents, your family, your religion, whatever it is, be true to yourself. As long as you are someone out there who is living and doing things and being someone who is helpful and productive, and, you're not out harming or hurting other people, anything else is none of anybody's business. Oh, now they got to start across the street, the construction dudes that have been parked sitting there for this entire time that I've been sitting here, and shit's going by at the same time right over your head. And you know how it goes for your girl, Metronome, here in Clown World. She gets lots of targeting and lots of spying. And that's what I'm saying. I'm beginning to believe now. I've had a sneaking suspicion this entire time, and I've been testing it in my own ways. may be aware to some, but unbeknownst to others. You always got to keep keep them guessing is what I say. Be real, be true, but keep them guessing. And especially in this world, nobody's going to limit me and tell me that I have to identify with something or go against somebody else and rally and support because we're fighting. No, if you noticed in these crowds, people aren't fighting. They're holding up banners and flags and things and colors, like let's say the gay community with the rainbow, right? And rights for people who are, let's say, when they legalized gay marriage and allowed gay couples to adopt children, and they're great parents and their children are thriving and otherwise would be stuck in a children's home, or with people that get paid to adopt kids and have 6 of them and abuse them because they get paid to adopt kids. I mean, ethically, morally, when you really consider a stable home with a couple that loves each other and the children are well taken care of, loved, and supported in a gay family versus being abused or molested because the parents are being paid to adopt them or foster them, I should say, foster. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a big truck pulling up now. So, and it's gonna park right here, so I'm gonna just try to speak and try to hear as much as I can now because I had to park right in front of me, you know, right at this moment when I'm speaking truth. Anyways, I guess that's my cue to go, and I shall continue this later. Love y'all. Peace to the peoples, all the different, wonderful, unique peoples all over the world. Let's boycott these corporations, beginning with our governments. Stop buying and stop buying into what you're being told to do, okay? Other beings are more important than things. Beings, things. Love you.